But did you really miss me? Hey, listen. Today we're going to find the volume of a cylinder and volume of a cone. Not just one, multiple ones. All right. Hey, but we're going to make this short and sweet because I know you're good at this and I know you'll understand real quick. So the first thing, what I want you to do is kind of sketch a cylinder on your paper and write the measurements, 24 millimeters and 5 millimeters. All right. Go ahead and feel free to pause it if you need to. And let's get started here. All right, I'm assuming you got it done. So here we go. Let's get started. So we're going to start first with the formula of finding the volume of a cylinder, which is volume equals pi r squared times height. So really, as long as you know the formula, all it is plug and play. Plug it in and play. Play with the calculator. All right. So the only things that are not going to change are the V and the equal sign and the symbol pi. Those will always be there. Now, right here we have the radius. Notice our picture here. They give us the diameter. So I don't need the diameter. I want the radius. So all I have to do is cut this in half because the radius is half the diameter. So if the diameter is 24, then the radius is 12. So we're going to put in 12 to the second power. We're going to multiply that times the height. In this case, the height happens to be 5 millimeters. So we're just going to put in 5. Now, the reason I wrote it just like this is because this is the way I want you to enter it into your calculator. So we're going to first do the pi symbol, then 12 to the second power. Then we're going to multiply that times 5, and we get our final answer, which is 2,261. So volume equals 2,261.9. 0.9 what? Millimeters cubed. Cubed because we found the volume. Oops, excuse me. Right there. All right, that's my final answer. See how simple that was? Plug and play, just like that. So I hope you wrote down the formula and I hope you wrote down the example. What I want you to do now is copy this example down. Come on, right here. Copy this down with a radius of 5 centimeters and a height of 8.3. And I want you to solve it on your own, then come back to see if you got the right answer. I'm assuming you're back. So what I like to do all the time is just write the formula. That way I'm just plugging in numbers. So I got volume equals pi. Now this time they did give me the radius. So all I have to do is plug in 5 to the second power times the height. Now some people like to put a multiplication symbol in there. Doesn't matter. It means the same thing. What matters is how you enter it in the calculator. So again, I'm going to put in the pi symbol. And then I'm going to put in the 5 squared. And then I'm going to put the height, which is in this case 8.3. And we got 651.88. But since we're running to the nearest tenth, what we got is 651.9 centimeters cubed. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is my final answer. Guess what? You know how to find the volume of a cylinder. Can you hear the crowd going wild for you? All right. Ow. Hey, next thing, let's go find some volume of cones. Now, I want you to pay attention here. My formula, volume. We're still finding volume equals. Now, notice, I want to give myself some space here. Give yourself some space. I'll show you why. And I want you to write down pi r squared h. Wait, what? Isn't that the same thing as this? But this isn't the same shape. This is a cone. The question is, how many cones can I get out of a cylinder? A cone is 1/3 of a cylinder. That means out of one cylinder, I can make 3 cones. But since I'm only finding the volume of one cone, that's why the formula is 1/3 times the same thing as it was for the cylinder, which is pi r squared h. Now, let's go ahead and plug and play. Oh, yes. I love to play, especially when it's math. So we got 1/3 times pi. Those numbers will never change. And then we got the radius. Again, they gave us the diameter, which is 24. So we're going to plug in the radius, in this case, which happens to be 12 to the second power. We're going to multiply that times 26, which is the height. Now, pay attention right here. This is one of those clues that most people don't tell you about. Later on, when the problems get a little more complicated, when they're trying to test you, they're going to put numbers out here on this side or on this side of the cone to see if you use them. Do not touch them. Leave them alone. You do not need them to find the volume of a cone. What you want is the line going down the center, the straight line. That is the height. And if you know anything from a triangle, the hypotenuse, that diagonal side is going to be longer, okay, than the actual height because it's angled and it still reaches the top. So you don't want to use that. Always use the one that goes down the middle. All right. So there's my 26. I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. So in my calculator, so I got 1/3 times pi times 12 squared times 26. And that's it. Plug it in. I want you to type it in the calculator just like I have it right there on the screen, okay? Type it in the calculator just like that. So I got 3,920. Volume equals 3,920.7 millimeters cubed. Again, it's cubed because it's volume. All right? And that's my final answer. I hope you got that answer correct, right? All you have to do is plug and play. All right. Hey, here's another one. Go ahead and pause the video. Do it yourself and then come back and see if you got the right answer. I'm assuming you're back. Let's do this. Orange, since this is our last one. Volume equals 1/3 pi r squared h. And I recommend you write it every single time. That way when it comes time to the test, you're going to know it. You just write it down because you know this. Now, let's plug in some numbers. We got 1/3 pi. I told you those will never change. The radius. Hey, they did give me the radius this time, which is 3 inches. So let's plug in times 3 inches to the second power, right? Because we got the second power right there. And then times the height. And the height in this case is 6 inches. So we're going to plug it in here. 6 inches. Now, let's put it all in the calculator. Here we go. 1/3 times pi times 3 squared times 6. And we have 56.5. So the volume in this one is 56.5. Now I got 56.54866, blah, blah, blah. But we're rounded to the nearest tenth, remember. So I got 56.54. So that means I round to the nearest tenth, which is 5. And always write the measurement there to the third power because it's volume. And you're done. I hope you got the right answer. All right. Hey, if you got value out of this, hit the like and subscribe button. All right. And I'll see you next time on Math Quest. Goodbye.